Dune, the building of a dynasty. The planet Arrakis, known as Dune. Land of sand. Home of the spice, melange. The spice controls the empire. Whoever controls Dune controls the spice. The Emperor has proposed a challenge to each of the houses.
The house that produces the most spice will control Dune. There are no set territories and no rules of engagement.
Vast armies have arrived. Now, 3 houses fight for control of Dune. The noble Atreides. The insidious Ordos. And the evil Harkonnen. Only one house will prevail. Your battle for Dune begins now.
Alright guys, welcome to Let's Play Dune 2, The Building of a Dynasty, with me, PolarDash. Before we start, PolarDash has to unleash some steam real quick. It took me forever, like forever, to get this game to work with Fraps. I think I heard that DOSBox has a really bad relationship going with Fraps, and I definitely learned the hard way. Like, seriously, no, seriously. First it was like all kinds of stuttering, and then it was lagging, and then it was the recording coming out desynchronized, and yeah, the list goes on and on and on. Like, everything that can go wrong went wrong. But I think I finally got this game to be a bit more cooperative. Enough to Let's Play it, at least. The only big issue I have is that the recording, I get this constant white noise in the background. But I think other people that Let's Play DOSBox games have the same problem. So it's not like I'm alone in it. But anyway, in order to circumvent it, I had to really increase the game volume, which might overpower my voice at some points, but we're just gonna have to deal. Or I'm gonna see if I can edit it later, or whatever. Okay, anyway, before I start ranting on about stupid stuff, let me introduce the game. Dune 2, The Building of a Dynasty, is a real-time strategy game by Westwood Studios, released back in 92, I think the game just said? Yeah, 92. Dune 2, it's supposedly a sequel to Dune, the adventure game released by Cryo, whenever that was released, I have no clue. Though, it's not really a sequel per se, it's, like even the chick that just introduced the game called it Dune and not Dune 2, because, yeah, it's not like a follow-up or a continuation in the Dune game, it's just a whole another game, but you know, played it as a real-time strategy instead of an adventure game. I think Westwood just didn't feel like calling their game Dune something else, you know? They wanted to call this game Dune, because it stands out more and it sounds cooler. Okay, right, real-time strategy game, and you may know Westwood from their more popular real-time strategy game, or the more well-known at least, Command and Conquer, and yeah, its series of games. You could pretty much say that Dune 2 is a predecessor to Command and Conquer, and I think pretty much all other real-time strategies that followed this game. Dune 2, I think, really laid down like a standard, or more like a foundation to what real-time strategy games became after the release of this game. You know, with harvesting resources and building things and connecting the buildings and making things that build units. Yeah, you know, real-time strategy. This game started it. That's what I have to say. I think it's worth mentioning that Westwood Studios isn't with us anymore. You could thank Electronic Arts, EA, for that. They cannibalized Westwood. It was a very sad day for me, and it was probably a very sad day for you. It's always a sad day when EA gobbles up another decent game developer, and yeah, Westwood was one of them. Rest in peace, Westwood. Alright, yeah, so the game was released in '92. I got this game, I think, a few years afterwards, around '94, '95, I think. I got it in this, like, what do you call it? Like a classic gold awesome game pack thing. It was just this, I think it was like a 10 CD pack that I got for cheap from somebody. And this game was included. At the time I got this game, I didn't know that this game was based on Frank Herbert's Dune. Like, I never heard of Frank Herbert or Dune. Alright, so I probably just touched a nerve on some of you Dune fans that might be watching this. If it makes you feel any better, I got interested in Dune after finding out that this game was based on a book, Frank Herbert's Dune. Not that I had the opportunity to read the book yet, but dude, I got the interest. I read some, or one of the books, The Hunters of Dune. I still can't manage to get a copy of the original. I'm still on the lookout for it, but once I get it, I'm definitely reading it. Please don't be angry at me. But you know, I think this game is more based on the movie anyway, along, you know, like the first Dune. That game was also more based on the movie. And I think Dune 2 is based loosely on the movie, whereas Dune might have followed a little bit more. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not very familiar with the lore or the universe, thanks to not reading the books or watching the movie. I watched parts of the movie, but you could thank Star Wars for not letting me finish it. I watched Star Wars first. Okay, now you know. Now I'm pissing off everybody. Great. But yeah, I think it's based loosely on the movie, and you know, let's find out by playing the damn game. I'm gonna shut up now. All right, so we get to select a house. In the introduction, we were introduced to the Noble Atreides, and the Insidious Ordos, and the Evil Harkonnen. The Atreides are the average side, or the balanced side. They have you know, average all-around stats on their units. But they're all goody two-shoes, and we're not gonna pick Atreides. The House Ordos. I think this house was made up, or I think they were barely mentioned in the novels or something. I think I heard somebody tell me. Well, either way, the Ordos is the douchebag side of, you know, the RTS love triangle. They're the hit and run guys. Their units have increased speed, but have reduced armor. Yeah, we're not gonna go with the Ordos. So you can kind of guess which side I want to pick. The Evil Harkonnen. These guys. Not only is their symbol the best looking out of the other two. Yeah, they have the other side of the real-time strategy spectrum, with the slow units and increased armor. And the fact that they're evil makes them even more badass. So we're gonna pick the badass side, the Harkonnen.
House Harkonnen.
Yes, and even the guy sounds cool. Okay, House Harkonnen. From the dark world of JD Prime, the savage House Harkonnen has spread across the universe. I did pronounce the planet right, guys? I hope I did. A cruel people, the Harkonnen are ruthless towards both friend and foe in their fanatical pursuit of power. Do I wish to join House Harkonnen? You know, I think the miniseries called House Harkonnen, like House Harkonnen or something. I don't know which way is the proper pronunciation. I'm gonna call them Harkonnen. Yes! Oh, I forgot to do something. Oh well. I am the Mentat, Radnor, and yeah, he is the Mentat Radnor. With my guidance, you may be able to assist us in conquering this dusty little planet. Oh my god. Tongue twisted, for some reason. For your first test, you will be expected to produce 1,000 credits, and not a granule less. You may earn credits by harvesting spice, and will need to build a refinery to convert spice to credits. If any of our foolish enemies attempt to attack your base, you will have the pleasure of seeing the invincible Harkonnen troops in action. I like that attitude, and that's why I like the side. He has a very remarkable resemblance to Mr. Burns. And also you can do this. Jiggly eyes! Whee! Oh, I love doing this. Jiggly, jiggly, jiggly! I never get bored of that. Okay, proceed. That's a harvester, by the way. Anyway. Alright, so, we have the usual RTS-looking game screen. With the overhead view of the current area that I'm looking at. The mini-map over here, which is blacked out because I don't have a radar station. And the building I have selected, displayed over here, and its functions. Credits up here, it's the amount of money I have. And Mentat, you can click on this to ask him stuff. Ask Mr. Burns stuff, and the options. Alright. We start with a construction yard, a small base, consisting of a construction yard, and some armored vehicles, and a handful of infantry units. First things first, you want to get rid of some of this fog of war. I'm explaining to you guys. Oh, where'd you come from? No!
Our base is under attack.
Great start. Alright, some blue guy decided to Al-Qaeda our construction yard. Well, good for him. The construction facility. All structures are built by the construction facility. And it's important to keep this thing alive and not let some douchebag just walk right on in and blow it up. He only did minor damage though, and you can repair damage by hitting this repair button. Alright, it reduces the credits. It costs some money. Alright, what was I talking about? Right. We want to get rid of some of this fog of war, this black stuff that surrounds our base. So we can see what's going on.
Moving out.
And by doing this, we will find some melange, this red stuff, orange stuff, spice, which we will need to harvest in order to make this count go up.
Affirmative.
And by doing that, it'll allow us to build more stuff.
Affirmative.
Yeah, right, I was saying I was feeling stupid explaining to you guys how to play an RTS, but
Acknowledged.
that's what I like to do. I like to explain my games just in case this is the first time you've seen an RTS before.
Acknowledged.
I don't know if you lived under a rock or something, but yeah, this is what an RTS looks like. The first RTS.
Acknowledged.
Alright, that's enough. Unlike almost all other RTSs following this game, when you click on buildings and its construction thingy, it pauses the game and puts you in this building screen where you can leisurely select the buildings you want to construct. We get two choices, some concrete slabs and a power plant. We need the wind trap power center in order to build anything else, so we're going to build this first. And the game tells us that there isn't enough open concrete to place a structure. You may proceed, but without enough concrete, the building will need repairs. Yes, that's an important aspect of Dune 2, is that structures, like the little tip just said, requires concrete slabs to be placed on, to be built upon. And if you don't, you get all kinds of bad things happen to your building, like it's starting out half retarded. But
Construction complete.
wind traps. The wind trap supplies power to my base. Without power, your structures will decay. Right. And yeah, without power, buildings will crumble too. Right. So it starts out half retarded because it's not placed on concrete. But I was saying, concrete slabs, and you can see here the amount of space that the structure takes on the actual game map. You need this much space to build something. Concrete slabs, you build them one at a time. And imagine doing this. Going around placing construction or concrete slabs, which is used to make a sturdy foundation for your structures, one at a time, when you could be just plopping down wind trap centers and all kinds of other interesting buildings instead. Right. What I'm trying to say is that it's time consuming. So I usually don't build it unless I need to build something, I don't know, maybe like in the front lines or some structure that's really important that I don't want blowing up. And, you know, and we're House Harkonnen. We just go and pave our... What I wanted to say? Fuck. Fuck that up. Pave the ground in the bodies of our fallen enemies. There we go.
Complete.
I said it.
Yes, sir.
Good job, Nate.
Moving out.
Alright, so the second thing we needed to build, when I was trying to think of what I was wanting to say, was the refinery. Which you need to harvest the spice and to convert it into credits. And when we build a refinery, we get a free harvester. The thing that goes and mops up, search for spice fields to harvest, right?
Harkonnen harvester deployed. Warning, enemy units
This orange
approaching
stuff,
from
spice.
the east.
Infantry out. Yes, sir. Infantry out.
Harvesters generally automatically go for the nearest spice and starts, oh god, you guys have blown up my money. Stop it. Get out of the...
Moving out.
Yeah, the harvesting area. What was I saying? Right, harvesters generally automatically go for the nearest spice fields, but yeah, they will eventually get mentally handicapped.
Unit destroyed.
They have to be guided to where you want them to harvest later on in the game, when harvesting fields or spice fields ends up like all the way across the map. Yeah, I think that's a problem that plagued other Westwood games. Well, pretty much all Westwood games, I think. Harvest is just going to the wrong places all the time.
Reporting. Affirmative.
And I have vivid memories of my harvesters just kind of moping their way into my enemy base. My enemy's base, and yeah, expecting to harvest a speck of spice on the other side of the map. And failing miserably.
Enemy unit destroyed.
While I'm concentrating on something else and not realizing that my harvester blew up.
Acknowledged.
And then when my money's gone down to zero, wondering, where the hell did my harvester go? Yeah. And that's when I usually see it like all the way across the map, getting shot by everything. You know what I mean. Alright, so, while the harvester's gathering money for me, the 1,000 credits I need to win,
Acknowledged.
we'll just go
Reporting.
and
Acknowledged.
make sure that we don't have any
Warning, enemy
Yeah, like
units
these guys.
approaching from the south.
Atreides scouts trying to peek into our little harvesting operation. That'll make the Baron happy. I think one important non-feature of this game is the fact that you can't box units. Being the first Westwood RTS, yeah, they thought that, well, they came up with that idea around Command & Conquer, you know, when they released Command & Conquer.
Reporting.
And not in this game.
Enemy
Very sad,
unit
because
destroyed.
you have to actually manually guide
Affirmative. Report.
each single
Affirmative.
unit by clicking on them and then clicking on their destination. And you get to hear them acknowledge my order 1,000 times when you get like a whole ton of guys on screen waiting for orders. It's great. Pew pew! Hey, he's trying to run away! Yeah. Don't let that happen. There he goes, making a last stand. And he's dead.
Enemy unit destroyed.
I love how they scream. Alright.
Reporting. Acknowledge.
You know what else I can mention? This is another cool feature about this game that you don't find in, you know, Command and Conquer, is the fact that you can only build... Oh, you guys are shooting at stuff.
Reporting.
You can only build on this gray area, the rock formations. You can't build on the sand. And it makes for a cool game dynamic because you're forced to fight over the precious bits of land that you could build on. So there's
Enemy unit destroyed.
a lot of points in the game when you're fighting this game of tug of war,
Reporting.
trying to gain that center area to you know, build a staging ground to assault the enemy side.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Report.
Go.
Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Okay. And I think we just beat the mission. Alright, before that happens, I'm going to save the game. It's a good idea to save the game at the end of each mission in this game. Well, I'm not sure if it's a good idea, but it's a smart idea.
Your mission is complete.
Yay! You have pleased me. Continue to serve me well, and I will see to it that you are rewarded. Thank you. Look at the traders trying to surrender. Oh, they're so dead. Alright. I have attained the rank of Desert Mongoose. Harvesting about 1,400 spice. And destroying 6 other units. Well, Desert Mongoose is a funny rank title. Can you imagine saluting an officer going, Desert Mongoose, PolarDash, sir? That's tedious to say. I don't know, maybe I'll get a cooler sounding rank later. Alright, you only put 5 letters in the name and rank here. Good thing my Polar... I think I'm Polar's 5 letters. Alright, so Polar, Harkonnen Desert Mongoose. Here's the first stage. 3 Houses has come to Dune to take control of the land. That has become divided. Harkonnen rise first. That was awkward. Look at all that red. That's right. The weak Atreides will be easy. Yep. Any orders are getting closer. Select my next region of conquest. We're Harkonnen. We're ballsy. We're just gonna go straight for the center, right here. Jiggly eyes! House Harkonnen has generally granted you a new opportunity to serve us. We will now allow you to take command in a more dangerous area and accumulate 2,700 credits. Although the worthless Atreides you may encounter in this region should always be eliminated as a matter of principle, the spice quota is your objective. I like that. As a matter of principle. Alright. Proceed. Alright, well that concludes kind of the tutorial session. And we will continue our conquest of Dune in the next part. And let's play Dune 2, The Building of a Dynasty, with me, PolarDash. Hope you enjoyed this one. See you in the next set.